Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jojo Palacio, and if you are not, welcome back. On my channel, we talk about all things beauty, and today we're doing this look right here. It's a very warm, spicy, colorful look. I wanted to do a combo of the both. I feel like this look I go back to constantly. Like every year I do some type of rendition of this look and I love it. I feel like I keep improving it every year, and this year is no different. I gotta go to work, so I'm gonna keep this very short, the intro very simple. We're playing with some Urban Decay today. I did a combination of drugstore and higher end products, so I hope that you guys like it. I call this my peacock feather eye. Just kidding, I don't know what I'm gonna name this video, but I hope that you guys like the look. Before you get into the video, subscribe to my channel. I post every Wednesday and every Saturday. We talk about all things beauty. I try to keep it very educational on this channel, and I hope that you guys like it. So let's get into this tutorial. Alright guys, so we're going to get started on the look. First things first, we're going to use our Urban Decay Primer Potion in Eden. And I'm just going to spread that on with the applicator, but I like to blend it in using my Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. This brush is so good for not only this, but it also helps with concealer. It helps blend out any type of contouring. Sometimes I'll use it with the foundation around like my brows or the inner corner here, just because it is so nice and dense and buff, and it just really helps to smooth things out in a very like fast, effective way. So I love that. The next thing we're going to do is set that guy with our MAC Studio Fix C2. I'm going to take that on another Real Techniques brush. This is our 200. And I love this brush for this. It's really the only reason I have this brush. Oddly enough, I like big fluffy brushes like this to really help set that primer. I believe it is very important to set the primer just because it'll help to blend out everything that is coming on after so much easier, so much faster. So once you do that, we're ready to get started. I'm going to use this guide today. We are using the Urban Decay Born to Run eyeshadow palette. It is such a pretty palette. It's got so many colors in it. We're going to play in the warm realm here, but there are so many pretty shades. This look, this eye look, I've done so many times, and I feel like I go back to it because I love it. It's so pretty. It reminds me of like a peacock feather. It's just gorgeous. It's a nice way to play with color, but also play with your warm tones. If you're a warm tone girl, I have you. So we're gonna go into a brown. It's called Good Is Gone in this palette, and I'm gonna pick that up using my BH Cosmetics Marble Collection number 7 brush. It's a nice little small pencil brush. I like it to help me build out the outer corner. And I'm just gonna start stamping it on and building this color up, creating the shape that I'm going for. So I want to obviously build up the brown in the outer V, but I'm also going to bring it in till about a third of the way, maybe. Yeah, a third of the way in, and we're gonna build that up and make it nice and dark. In this part, it's important to just build color and not blend. Do not worry about the blend right now. We're gonna use a different brush and a different color for that. I just want you to not be able to see skin through the brown. Like I want it to be very, very pigmented, very saturated in the brown. Just like that. All right, so moving on to the next color, we're gonna pick up Riff, and I'm gonna use my JH33 brush. This is one of my favorite blending brushes. It's very similar to the Morphe M433, one of my go-to brushes to blend out the crease. So I'm gonna just pick that up, and again, you wanna make sure that you are loading this crease color onto your brush and getting rid of the excess. And what I'm going to do here is I am going to just go on the very edges of this brown and start to blow this color up. And so it'll seem confusing, and you'll kind of like, okay, am I done blending? What determines when I should stop? And what my answer to that is you want to not be able to see where the brown, the dark brown and this lighter crease shade blend. Like it just should be gone. It should be blown up to about that. And I also like to blow up that outer corner down here, just because when we clean it up, we want to make sure that we have a good blend for the lower lash line. Don't forget to show that outer corner some love. Guys, if you start to notice that the brown is kind of fading and you want to be careful, it's okay. We're going to go back into the brown after we're done blowing it up, but just make sure your blend is good. Nice. And so what I'm going to do now is go into a clean blending brush. This has no eyeshadow on it. I'm just going to take that right over that crease shade and the brown. I like this to diffuse the shadows even more. I don't want really harsh lines, and sometimes a clean brush really helps to just blend things out and give you another way to do that. All right, perfect. Let's move on right along. What we're gonna do next is go back into our Urban Decay Eden primer. I'm gonna take that primer and a nice flat brush. This is by BH Cosmetics. It's just a flat brush, synthetic hair, very thin, not like our other packing brushes. And I'm going to just pick up some more of this primer. And we are going to carve out about 2/3 of the lid, just so we can match this other side here. So what I like to do is just kind of give it a minute and look up towards the ceiling to stamp where I need to make sure this thing is dragged out. And the reason you do that is because if you don't, the glitter, the shadow, the shimmer is gonna make its way over there anyways. So what you're doing here is just clearing the way for it so that the shadow stays looking neater longer. That's really all that we're doing. All right, so I'm gonna bring that right about there. And we're gonna start working with our shimmers. We're gonna go into the eyeshadow palette and we're gonna take the shade Big Sky. I'm taking that on a Luxie Precision Shader brush. It's a 239 brush. I love it, 239, that's my area code. So we're going to just spritz that on there, and I'm gonna just take that very packed into the brush. I'm gonna work that into the first part of the lid here. I like to take it right up against the border. It's a little bit pointed, this brush is, so I'll take it right up against that border and pull down. And I did wet the brush a little bit to help the color come through very nicely. So what I'm going to do is just turn the brush the other way, and there's Wanderlust, that's this green shimmer shade that's right next to it. I'm not going to dampen the brush anymore. I feel like the spritz got it well enough. And I'm going to just continue applying that color from where Wanderlust ends. Not Wanderlust, Big Sky ends to where Wanderlust are going to like meet together. And then it's going to blend into this brown. So I know I told you we were going to go back into the brown. I'm going to pick up that brush and a little bit of that Good Is Gone shade. And we are going to just kind of reiterate, re-emphasize, re-establish the borders of the brown. We don't want to forget. Boom, just like that. So I know you guys see me holding this. I saw this blue glitter that's right there, and I needed to have that on my eyelids. So I'm going to pick that up with another flat packing brush, shading brush. And I am going to just stamp that right over the lid. Once we're done with the shadow, we're going to go right into the liner. I'm using my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide-On Eye Pencil in Demolition. We're going to take Demolition and we're going to put that right on the waterline. I'm sorry, we're going to tightline with it. We're going to put it on the lid, not the waterline. For mascara today, we're using our Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. Okay, everyone. So I went ahead and did my lashes off camera. I've done them on camera so many times, I feel like we can move past that. The one thing I do want to mention is sometimes when you're using lashes multiple times, the shadows can get on the lashes, especially the lash band. So number one, clean the lashes off, but number two, make sure that you also take advantage with a black liner and just kind of give them a little zhuzh. Using primers today, we're going to do a combination of drugstore and higher end stuff. I feel like I've been using some higher end things a lot. That's okay, but we're going to go into drugstore today. For the center of my face, I'm going to use the L'Oreal Infallible Matte Lock Primer. This is a mattifying primer. It doesn't necessarily do too much for my pores, but what I did do as part of my skincare today was I put on some sunscreen by Supergoop. It is a matte sunscreen, but it does have a little bit of that pore filling, hiding type of technology built into it, so I really like that a lot. And it's protecting my skin. So for the rest of my skin, we're going to use this guy today. It is the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. I love this primer. It is so smoothing. Boom. Okay, so for foundation combination, we're going to use these two guys. I've used them multiple times, so I'm using my Hourglass Vanish stick in the shade Sand, and then I'm also using my Dior Skin Forever in the shade, what shade are we? 20. Love this combination. It is so good. This foundation stick on its own is really good. Don't think that you have to do all of this. I just tried it once. I have them, so why not use it? But the Hourglass stick is a really, really nice foundation. The finish is phenomenal. So what I'm going to do is I am going to pump a pump of the Dior on my hand, pick it up with my buffing brush, and blend in the foundation. Sand is almost a perfect shade for me, but I do feel like it is a little yellow. Like I go towards yellow foundations just because I feel like I have a yellow undertone, but sometimes it's a little too much. I might talk about this brush every once in a while, or I might just edit it on my videos all the time. I don't know. But I really do use this brush all the time. It is the JH08, and it is a smaller version of my foundation brush, but I use it in this area here because it is perfect for maneuvering around the brows so that I don't mess up all of that hard work. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like my brows take me forever to get done. Not only that, but like, do you guys feel like your eyelids are different? Like, I feel like my eyelids, one might be longer than the other, and I don't know why. What is this? There we go. Sorry, I was out of focus for a minute there, and I don't know why. All right, so you'll notice that I have a few, well, this camera is very forgiving, but I have a few blemishes that we're gonna deal with. So if this is you today, right now, this very moment, I feel you, we all go through those struggles. I'm gonna get real girly here, but I'm trying to wean off of the birth control, and I'll tell you what, hormones are real. Your skin goes through it after you start withdrawing from those hormones, and this is a result of that. So I feel you, girl. I feel you. I'm just gonna take my beauty sponge and just push those two things together. So we're gonna go in with this baby today. This is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Primer in C7. So what I'm gonna do is just take it right out of there, use the applicator. Ooh, whoa, time out. Glad I caught myself. No ma'am, no ma'am. We're gonna contour and bronze first. So for bronzing, no, I'm not using the Milk Foundation Stick, don't judge me. Using this guy. So this is the NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer in the shade Polynesia. I'm gonna take that on the back of my hand, just a smidge, just a little bit, with my regular BH Cosmetics brush, and I'm just gonna work that in to the brush first, and we're gonna just take that in the normal places. So we're gonna work that into the forehead. We're gonna work that into the chin, the cheek area, but we're just pushing that towards the hairline. Same idea with our stick, except this is more of like a liquid instead of the cream. It's still very pretty. And this is more of a radiant glow. So for the summertime, you guys are gonna see me use this a lot more than the cream milk stick. A little bit goes a long way, guys. I wouldn't go too heavily into this. This is really a buildable product. That's why I like to work it into the brush and then kind of work it onto my face. Yeah. So this is the Nude Sticks Tinted Blur Stick. It is one of their contouring sticks, and I've got like a mini sample of it, so I'm going to take it and I'm going to put that right there. Right where we would put more so the bronzing contouring shade. This is just a little A little darker, a little deeper than the NARS, but not that much. I'm just gonna use that to kind of reinforce. It's not as radiant, it's not as thin as the NARS, so it might just show through a little better. We're still gonna go in with our powders, but I just always like to make sure that I do both contouring and bronzing with creams. So now that we've got that situation sorted, let's go in with the concealer. And I choose to do that second because I feel like it really does help to clean up if we just got and drew out of the line. So I'm going to take this guy, like I mentioned, it's the C7 Conceal and Hydrate Concealer by Makeup Revolution. I'm going to take that guy. It's a pretty big applicator like our Born This Way concealer is. I'm going to take that and we are going to apply it into the inner corner. I was going to try to color correct, but I guess we're not doing that since I completely forgot. I have to do a color correcting video anyways. I feel like you guys ask me about that all the time. So we'll do it. So I'm going to go over my forehead. I've got the 2 blemishes that's right there, and I've got some that are on my chin. So we're just going to take that. We're still working with the same amount that we pulled out initially with the applicator. I don't go back in and add. If it's not on there right now, it's not meant to be. And I'm kind of going in a little heavier than I usually do because I feel like this foundation is really yellow right now and I don't know why. Haven't had that happen before, but I don't know, maybe it's just me. So we're going to work out the stuff that's around our mouth and the forehead first. And even though it says hydrating concealer, I'm not going to wait on this. I can tell that it's already starting to dry quite a bit, so I'm just going to start working right away. Alright guys, so once we do that, we're going to set right away. We know the drill. We're going to take our MAC C2 powder that we use to set our primer. We're going to set our eyelid primer. We're going to use to set underneath our eyes. And I'm going to take that with a brush. I'm going to load up the brush and we're going to go right in and just pat this into place. No swirling. We're going to pat and press it into place. It's going to do a lot. It's going to help us with the coverage. It's going to help me absorb some of the oil, avoid some of the creasing, but it also helps to color correct a little bit. I feel like that is a little too cool. I thought I was going to like the fact that it was a cool tone to kind of help me. It's like a peachy pinky type of undertone, but it was way too peachy pinky, especially with this foundation. So this is a nice shade, a neutral shade. I think MAC works opposite, so like C2 is more like a neutral yellow. I don't know what I'm talking about because I don't really use MAC like that, but I think that's how it works. So we've covered up our blemishes pretty well. Although I will say the vitamin C serum that I've been using by Drunk Elephant has really helped. Like my blemishes, yeah, they do get dark and they scar a little, but within a week they're gone. Like it's non-existent. So I love that. I'm going to go in and I'm going to bake with my translucent setting powder. I'm going to take my powder puff and I am going to pick that up. I like to break that up a little more before I put it under my eyes. I'm going to work that into the skin. So while that is setting, I'm going to go back into my eyeshadows and we're going to do these same exact steps to the bottom. I'm going to go in with a smudger brush and take that brown shade. And really get close to that lash line. Get really, really close. And then what I'm going to do is take another brush similar to the BH Cosmetics one. This is a Luxie 231 brush. It's a pencil brush, very buff. And we're going to just work in riff and blend out that brown. I am okay with a blown out lower lash line. I feel like it complements the top shadow, the top lid better. It looks more uniform. But if you don't want to blow things up like that, you don't have to. You can just very lightly go over with both colors combined on a blending brush. You don't have to necessarily smudge and then blow out with the second brush. I just like the way that that looks. It just looks like it flows. I'm going to go back in with the brown one more time to really deepen that up. Boom. So I'm going to take the beige BH Cosmetics liner and just line my waterline with this. And then I'm going to go back into my Benefit Roller Lash and put some mascara on the lower lashes. Alright guys, very quickly, let's finish this up. We are going to go into our Shade and Light palette by KVD Beauty, and we're going to take our contouring brush by Real Techniques. I like to use the first and the last shade, so the lighter gray and the darker brown color, and we're just going to deepen up our contour a little bit with this. Alright, so I'm going to take my MAC MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in medium golden. A little different powder to throw something at you guys, something different. And I'm just going to use this to dust everything off and kind of set everything in place. Sometimes the contouring, the bronzing can come off a little bold, so this really does help to fix that. Okay, moving right along, we're going to go into our highlight. I'm going to use this guy right here. This is Bloom Time by Wet n Wild. I really like the peachy, golden, rose gold tone to this. I feel like it's going to go well with this whole look. So I'm going to put that on in the shape of a C. So cheekbone and then also right above the brow. Really pretty on the nose. Give ourselves a little glow. And then for blush today, we're going to use Goldrush by Benefit. It is the perfect shade for something like this. I know my last tutorial, I don't know, on all of my tutorials, I'm more of a peachy shadow type of girl. I feel like it's my skin tone that gives me more of that. Like, I love the way it looks on me. Sometimes I'll do something a little bolder, like a wine type of shade, but it really depends on the look. For mostly every day, you'll see me wearing something like this. All right, and then I just kind of want to clean up my contour a little bit further. So I'm going to take some of my powder on my puff. All right, guys, so I'm going to set my face. We're going to use the All Nighter by Urban Decay. Love it, love it. And let me figure out this hair situation, lip situation, and I'll be right back.